right, we're joined by Drexel head coach Amy Mallon and Bria Watkins. Coach, just some comments from you on the win.
I mean, I can't be more pleased with this group today. This first game when you come out, everyone, there's just so much tension. And obviously, Elon, I knew it was going to be a battle, and they certainly battled. But I was just really happy with the bench, the way they came in and really came through. And that's what you need at this time in the season. And Bria and our two freshmen, Bria and Molly Rulo, just stepping up and scoring when we need them to. So really proud of the intensity. We always call it a little bit of grit, grind that we had just in this game to pull through to get to the next game tomorrow. So really pleased with the overall.
Bria, as coach said, you gave your team quite a lift, 13 points, 6 rebounds off the bench in 26 minutes. Just talk about the game you had.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have done it without my team. It all came from their passes, their stops, their steals, whatever it was. They motivate me, they lift me to keep going, and it's all thanks to them. So.
Before we open up, Amy, a 14-2 run to start the fourth quarter when that game got close. What was the key in that?
I think the big thing we talked about doing what we need to do on the defensive end, and I think obviously we were struggling a little bit containing inside, and I think we always took that little grit and grind. Like we came out and I think we started moving the ball. We weren't taking quick shots. We were waiting to see the open player. We were getting the open player the second and third time, and I think our patience at times became part of our defense. Our offense became part of our defense. I thought we did a great job moving the ball and everyone getting good looks. So again, I love that. That's how we play. When we're doing that, good things happen for our team.
Rob?
Hi, Amy. Rob Knox, the 9 basketball. What enabled your post defense to be so successful tonight? Obviously, Fort had back-to-back 20-point games coming in, and y'all scored 38 to 18 in the paint. So what did you like, or what enabled you all to have success?
Well, we worked all week. We knew we were going to be battling post players, and we were often a little bit undersized, but we have some length, and we were really tuned in on. They had 2 lefties and a righty that were going to be in the post, and we were really going to make them have to work and go to their weaker hand when they did get it. And we said, if you can't get the ball, you're going to swat it. Your teammate's going to jump on it somewhere. And I think we just did a nice job being a little bit of a pest at times and making it really hard and difficult every time. When you can make them take tough twos in the paint and just feel like they're swarmed, I think that always puts you in a good position to get the next stop when you don't get it. And I thought that we did a really great job as a team stepping up and playing team defense.
And for you, what was the energy atmosphere like for you playing in your first CAA tournament game? Did it feel any different than just playing at the DAC or just playing on the road in another CAA gym, or was it like some extra juice?
I mean, obviously I tried not to make it bigger than that, but there were definitely some nerves coming in, but definitely excitement. Had super much a fun time. The crowd was fun, and yeah.
And and again, I know we've talked about the bench. This enabled you all to win 13 of your last 15 games. What else have you seen from your team that's during this stretch, or just in general that maybe people don't know that's been part of the success? I know we talked about the bench. We know Amaris has scored. It's just like a lot of people are functioning, but what else is happening beneath the scenes, or I'm just overthinking it?
I mean, I think you always talk about your leadership, and obviously with Grace O'Neal and Amaris Baker and Jalen McNeil as seniors, just stepping up every day and showing up for their teammates, win or lose, and just wanting to get better. So it does not matter. We could have, we didn't end the season quite on the note we wanted to, but they showed up the next day and they wanted to get better, and that's something I think this team has been doing all year. And I said this to them right after our final game. I said, hey, we've been down 14, came back and won. We've been in overtime and won. We've been up 15 in closed games, and we've also gotten beat. So all those things can happen in the tournament, and we have to use those to our advantage. Use that as a reason that we know we can do whatever we need to do. And I think this group has bought into everything. They're willing to learn every day and get better. And just having that open mind and having leadership like that just allows us to be successful.
And then last one for me. Obviously, you played Hofstra twice. Those were two of your larger margin of victories. I know that what happened before doesn't matter tomorrow. How do you have a veteran team, so what's the challenge in playing the team a third time, knowing that the first couple times was a little one-sided and in the semifinals?
I think that's a focus point. Like at this time of the year, and we saw it all year long, any team in our league could beat anybody. So I don't think you look at anything that you did prior other than you learn from it. We still look at any game we played and there's something we could have done better. So I think for us facing a team who obviously is playing at such a high level right now. We have to be really focused and locked in. We're obviously going to rest tonight and then focus, right on the next scout because they're tough. I mean, they have so much of the things that we need to continue to focus on, but they're playing really well right now. I know they're going to come in fired up, especially knowing, how we did the prior 2 games, but I think it's like anything. It's like 0-0. We're going into this. This is our record against them, and we got to show up because right now, the teams that show up and execute and focus are going to be the teams that do their best. And I'm going to remind my team that's what we need to do tomorrow in order to be successful in the end.
Bria, Coach talked about the leadership as far as what they've been able to do all season. Players like Amaris Baker and Grace O'Neal. How have they kind of guided you guys? What have you learned from them about attacking the postseason?
In practice, honestly, is the best place I can explain it. They're always there, leading with their voices, but also actions. It's great to watch them, play against them. And I just feel really lucky to be able to play against them every day in practice and also get to play out during games.
Coach, I believe Drexel is the only team left in the semifinals now that has won a CAA tournament title. Does that hold any weight for you?
I think, obviously it's one of those things where we have members of a team that won a championship, so they've also been members of a team that didn't, so they know both sides of that. So I think that's something we use to our advantage, but it also is a new group. And this group, every little thing, you cannot take a possession off, and we said that you're going to have to fight for everything you get, and I think they're going to come into it knowing that. And I think, I go back to my leadership. It's up to them to continue to know what we can do, but also, as I said earlier, we also know we can get beat. So keeping that in balance and then finding a way just to say, hey, we're going to take it possession by possession. I walked in the locker room today. I go, does this board look any different than it's looked all year long? As the same scout on, the same we do it, and I think that has to be the consistency. And I've said that since day one. But I'd rather be consistently great than remarkable once, and I think this group's bought into that, and that will be continuing what we try to do again tomorrow.
Yeah, Coach. You talked about playing an Elon team that might have had a little more size. In the first half, you guys lost the rebounding battle, 23-9, and then came out in the second half and flipped it on its head and won the rebounding battle. So, what was the key in flipping that, and how did it impact the game?
Yeah, I said at this time of the year, rebounding wins games, and for us, that was on the board even when we left the locker room. So we said we had to shut that down as far as the Mallon. They're definitely we're not gonna keep them from getting a rebound, but when we can actually do whatever we can do, whether it is if you can't get it, you're gonna slap it, your teammate's gonna dive. And I thought those loose balls, there were some really crucial loose ball plays that we were on, and that's a stat we keep a track of every day at practice. Loose ball, our tie-ups, and I thought we did a really great job of just being more of a pest and really being around the ball. So it was a little harder for them to get those extra rebounds and extra opportunities to score.
You have anything, Eric? No. Okay. All right. Congratulations.